The reason I love them so much is because they're so unique and different.
Cami Platts has been working with wildlife biologist Dr. Carol Chambers in studying both of their favorite animals, bats. Working anywhere between 20 and 60 hours a week, Cami goes out and tracks down the bats that Dr. Chambers had previously tagged with little antennas about the size of a watch battery. Right now, they are focusing on the country club area in East Flagstaff, and many of the bats they find are roosting in homes.
So this crack up here under the eave is probably where they're living.
Once they get a hold of the bats, they can begin their research.
So we measure forearm length, we measure ear length, we measure we figure out the sex, we measure foot length, and then we determine the species.
The specific species that they have been working with is the big brown bat. They are looking at these bats based on a rabies study that is going on throughout northern Arizona. There have been 3 outbreaks of rabies in the past 11 years, and the strand of rabies known to bats has been showing up in other unusual animals.
The point of the study is because the rabies that has been showing up in skunks and foxes in the area is a strain of rabies that's only been known to happen in bats. And that's really weird because you're not generally seeing interspecies transmission between diseases. So we're looking at the interaction between skunks and foxes and how often that occurs and where that takes place.
Because they are working with bats and rabies, they must undergo a series of 3 rabies shots over the time span of a month.
So it increases something called your titer, which is your immunity to rabies. And so you have to get your titer checked up on every 2 years.
Bats may be spooky to some people, but according to Cami, there is nothing to fear.
All the bats we have are insectivorous, so they all eat insects. Yet people are afraid of them swooping down and biting them, which generally never happens.